Hey everybody, welcome back. We just got done in the last lesson learning how to identify notes and rests. Those are the symbols that are going to tell us how long to make a sound or how long to be silent. The notes are telling us how long. These are the symbols over here. Oops, I see a big mistake. These are the notes over here that are telling us how long to make a sound over here, how long to be silent. So, what we're going to do now is identify the value of each note and rest. When I say identify the value, we're identifying how many beats each one of the notes and rests are getting, how many beats that they last, the duration. That's one of the reasons why in the core content they call them rhythmic durations, because it's referring to the duration that we make a sound or that we're silent. Now, I've rewritten the time signature and the bar lines and the measures that the bar lines are separating the rhythm into. And I've written in measure 1, measure 2, measure 3, measure 4, so you can see those clearly. And I've also written in the beats in each measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And don't forget, the reason why I wrote 4 in here is because the top number of the time signature tells us how many beats are in each measure. Now, back to how many beats each one of them gets. We're going to start with the largest one, the longest one, the whole note and the whole rest. Now, I don't know if this is the truth, but it makes sense to me, and this is the way I like to explain it. Why is it called a whole note? Because it looks like a whole? No. If you use your common sense, think about why I just wrote this up here. And I'm talking about how long this whole will last. Then you should come to the conclusion that a whole note is taking up a whole bar line? No. No. Measure. It's taking up a whole measure. Since there's 4 beats in each one of these measures, because the top number is telling us that, then the whole note just has to get 4 beats. Let me use that. So a whole note equals 4 beats. Okay? Now, it's opposite of the opposite of the whole note is the whole rest. The reason it's opposite is because the whole note makes a sound and this is silent. Since it's the opposite, though, it's still going to get the same amount of beats. It's also going to get 4 beats, but it's 4 beats of silence. So if you actually perform that by saying something, it's kind of sound like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. It's 4 beats of sound. Over here, 4 beats of silence. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. It's still music, even though it's silent. It's pretty cool. Now, on to the half note. Common sense. I love common sense. Alright? I'm not that smart, but I got a little bit of common sense most of the time. But a half note. Why would it be called a half note? Because it's half of a whole note? Yeah, because it's half of a whole note. So half of a whole note, and since a whole note gets 4 beats, half of it would be 2. So a half note gets 2 beats. And same thing with its opposite. The half rest gets 2 beats. Pretty cool. Now, here's where it might get a little tricky if you don't think hard. Now, we just cut this in half. Alright, half note is half of a whole note. Why is it called a quarter note? Because it's half of a half? It's because a quarter note is a quarter of the value of a whole note. So what's a quarter of 4? Well, I like thinking like $1. Right? How many quarters in $1? 4. So 1/4 is a quarter of that whole note. So since it's a quarter of a whole note, it equals 1 beat. Same as the opposite. Same for the opposite. 1 beat. Now, if you continue on with the pattern we're going, why is it called an eighth note? Because it's half of a quarter note? No. It's because eighth note in the eighth rest is 1/8. It's 1/8 of a whole note. So since it's 1/8 of the whole note, it actually gets a half a beat. Now, if that just blew your mind, let's do it a little bit. Let's break it down for a second. Half note's half of a whole note. Quarter note really is half of a half note. All right, you split that up. Eighth note, half of a quarter note. It's half the length. All right. Now I'm going to come back. Since we know the values, I'm going to come back and show you a demonstration that might help clear this up a little bit. All right. See you back in a minute.